Hey guys, it's Mad Friday and welcome back to another quick tank review. It's not going to be that quick today, I'm afraid, though, because this is quite a tricky tank to get around and talk about all the stats, to be honest. Anyway, I hope you all had a lovely Christmas. Plenty of gold to spend on tanks and stuff like that. Anyway, so here we go, Tier 9 Japanese medium tank, the Type 61. This follows on from my favourite Tier 8 medium tank, the STA1. Lovely tank for its tier, and I was really looking forward to this, although I feel pretty I'm a bit on the fence about this one. I expect there's some people out there that really love this tank, but after playing a lot of the other medium tier 9s, I feel this tank is quite lacking in some areas. During this review I'm going to be comparing this to two of what I think are the best tier 9 medium tanks in the game. Centurion 7.1, Tier 9 British medium tank, and the E50, the Tier 9 German. So, what can we say about this tank? Well, let's press this button for a second. It has pretty much no armour to even worry about, even think about trying to use around the whole thing. There is only one small area on the gun mantlet, two small areas on the gun mantlet that bring up even anything sensible on tanks.gg, so I do not feel there is any point looking at this tank on tanks.gg. There's literally a couple of areas on the gun mantlet that will bounce, but they're so small, trying to actually effectively use them, even on max gun depression, which on this tank is 10 degrees, you're still going to be very, very lucky to pull off some bounces in this thing. But I'm going to show you some footage in a minute. You can, it's just all about luck. So it has no armour to talk about, but it does have 10 degrees of gun depression. And even though you do have this ridiculous tumour sized thing sticking out the turret, if you can get on max gun depression about 10 degrees, you can hide the majority of it, but it's still there. Anyway, so we've talked about the armour. What about the gun choices? Well, this is where this thing becomes a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. The top package on this does have the 105, which most of the tier 9 mediums do. But it's not quite as good as the British one, even though effectively it is the same gun. Let's have a look. The top one, Type 61 with the 105, it's a version of the British gun, I think. 6 rounds a minute. So, 1 round a minute more than the Centurion, but less than the E50. Penetration is pretty damn good, and the heat rounds as well. That's just your regular heat round penetration. Decent alpha damage, 390, standard 105 alpha damage. Aiming time is good at 2.29, but the main thing that lets this whole tank down, in my opinion, and I will demonstrate it with some video footage of me using the 105, is the accuracy, 0.36. That is just not acceptable for a tier 9 medium tank. And just to put that in perspective, the Centurion 7.1, using pretty much exactly the same gun, is 0.31. And the E50 smashes that even further with 0.30. The E50 does have a lot lower pen at only 220, where this has 258, but the E50 just has slightly better aim time and is much more accurate. So although it has less pen, it can pick out weak spots at range and reliably hit them, whereas this thing, at long range, sometimes you're very lucky to even hit the target. That is how bad I found this gun. So, why am I talking about the top package first? Well, let's go back one. So you start here. The tank's not actually too bad. As a stock tank, it does work. Let me just show you quickly. 10 rounds a minute with a 90mm. That is very, very effective. But, first upgrade package, and what I found that I had the most success on, even more than this package, the upgraded 90mm. Let's have a look at the stats. Same 90mm gun, but this time 12 rounds per minute. That is insane. Penetration is not great, it's 219, but that's only 1mm less than the E50. And obviously the alpha damage is a lot lower because it's only a 90mm at 240. But if you multiply 12 by 240, the DPM on this tank is over 3000. It is crazy. Aiming time is also excellent at 1.7, and accuracy is 0.36, which is not amazing, but it's still exactly the same as the 105. So what are the benefits of fully upgrading this thing? Well, you get the 105, you get more penetration, but you lose DPM, and also you get an engine upgrade, so it goes from 570 to 604. But when you upgrade, you fit a bigger, heavier gun on this thing. Although the weights aren't listed in here, I can assure you. Although the sort of little double arrow thing showing you the vehicle's speed does increase, I found the weight of the extra gun, well not the extra gun, the bigger gun, negates most of the extra engine power, and you do not notice the difference, to be honest. So I found more success using the Type 61 90mm, the upgraded 90mm gun with 12 rounds per minute. And I'm just going to show you a little clip now of what 12 rounds per minute can do. Right, here we go, Type 61 with the 90mm. It's a full health T30 down there, driving at an angle, and my tracks soak up that 155mm shell. And now look, just watch this withering rate of fire, less than 4 seconds reload. Can I kill this guy before he reloads? He's got about 2.5 rounds a minute, I think it is. No, there we go, he hits me. Some repair wheel rage. He didn't break my gun though. And he needs just one more, and I'm taking my time. I'll aim it up. Bang, straight through his side, he's dead. Took one shot off him. Oh no, Object 140. Tier 10 Russian medium. But the rate of fire on this gun is insane. We hit him. I eat another shot there. Look at that gun depression, and we are straight through his front blade. Just an epic, epic gun. So there we go, tankers. 12 rounds per minute in action. You can literally tear tanks apart with the incredible DPM of this gun. Admittedly, fighting some tier 10s, you really do need that extra penetration with the standard APCR ammunition of the 105, but you do have the choice of fire and heat with this gun, and penetration is pretty good at 275, so it's not too bad. The only problem is with 12 rounds a minute and the ammo capacity of this tank, you can burn through all of your rounds if you were to fire non-stop in just over 4 minutes, so you do have to be really careful with your shots. But with 1.7 second aim time, you can make it work. And also, something I've not mentioned already, the view range on both of these packages is 400 meters, so no need to run coated optics on either of these packages. Yeah, so I'll leave it up to you guys. When you get to this point, you'll see what I mean. When you fit this gun, it does seem pretty good, but making some sniping shots at long range, you do really see yourself off, and with half the rate of fire, it takes twice as long to get another round in the spout and to give it another go. Yeah, so that DPM with this pack does really help. So if you get this thing fully upgraded and you don't like it, don't be afraid to go back to the previous package. Some players just like the extra DPM, some people like the extra pen. That's completely up to you. Right, so if we had a look at the packages, not bad a grind at all, to be honest. This tank, the stock tank, is not bad at all. First package was brilliant, and the fully upgraded tank is just okay, but it's not a patch on my two favourite tier 9 mediums. So crew skills I've got on this tank, it's not a particularly skilled crew. I've got Brothers in Arms, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness and Snapshot, and I'm training up repairs. Definitely Sixth Sense on this tank. After that, Brothers in Arms, and maybe the sneaky skills would work on this tank. Because you don't really have the armour to bounce anything, maybe having that extra camo value would probably be a good idea. Anyway, so equipment, box standard, top tier, medium tank equipment, rammer and vents, doesn't matter which gun you're using, with rammer, ventilation, Brothers in Arms and onigiri. You can see in that little clip I just showed you, my reload with the 90mm is less than 4 seconds. That is some crazy stuff. And because the base view range is pretty good, no need for optics in my opinion, so I went for Stabs Mark II just to help put that really good aim time to use. And with the 105, the aim time's not too bad as well, so the vert stabs will help you pull off some clutch shots. So other than that, there's not really a great deal to talk about, guys. We've seen the armour's not particularly all that. The gunman will pull off a few lucky bounces depending on where they hit, but other than that, it's going to be entirely luck as to whether your tracks eat a shot, like in that little clip I showed you, or as to whether even HE shots are going to penetrate you from pretty much anywhere apart from the front plate. Yeah, so I'm struggling to like this tank, to be honest. The E50 is just a really good all-round tank, and the Centurion 7.1 makes a much better long-range sniper than this. There's no point having that extra round per minute if your rounds don't find the target or don't go where you aim. Anyway, so let's have a look at a couple of lots of gameplay. First up is a mastery replay using the 90mm, and then some footage with the 105 just to show you why I don't like it, to be honest. Yeah, it really does. The second replay really does highlight why I prefer to use the 90mm.
Got enemies in the area. Take them down or capture their base.
First match then, Type 61 with the 90mm gun, the upgraded 90mm with 12 rounds per minute. So we're on Runeberg War, and it is a tier 10 game. The enemy's team have 6 tier 10s, all of which I'm going to struggle really badly to penetrate frontally. However, this tank is one of the best tanks at tier 9 for flanking and just outplaying tanks. That rate of fire and the DPM, if you can get your rounds to pen, you can chew, well, you've seen some of it in that little clip earlier, you can literally just chew tanks up, and it's a lot of fun. But also, I do feel this package is the best sort of follow-on from the STA-1. The STA-1, although I think the gunman on the STA-1 was actually better than this one, tier for tier, they kind of play the same with the 90mm, although this has way more rate of fire. Like again, like I said, tier for tier, they kind of operate the same way. They live and die by the sword. It's just pure DPM. But not only just keeps them alive, but allows you to have a decent game in a situation where you probably would have just died anyway. Right, so Runeberg War. No point me going into the town. I'm just going to get screwed over. But, oh Jesus, what? I don't know what did that. Must have been a Death Star or something. And I've just picked up a horrendous amount of assist points on the first shot. So, the enemy's team have been very aggressive. They're 2 T110 E4s. Although I'm going to struggle with them from the front, they've pushed so aggressively. The little spot I've got myself into, I'm now getting some flanking shots into them. Or I was, if they drive the right way for me. Anyway, yeah, so this game didn't particularly start very well. But it's the end of the game where I kind of put this tank to use. Its DPM and then the hit points I saved at the start of the game, it all just came together. Well, as you can see, the mobility's not bad. And because Xbox differs from PC, where we do not get to choose individual modules to upgrade, I'm stuck with the, I think it's a tier 8 engine, whereas the upgraded engine is a tier 9 engine. It's only a few horsepower different, and like I said, the difference in weight between the guns, for me personally, I do not notice any difference. I think the weight kind of negates the extra horsepower. But you can see, even with the tier 8 engine, this is not too bad. It's quite a good flanking tank. But that's not good. That guy there completely guessed what I was going to do, because I was spotted on the way in. But friendly artillery, happy days, nice shotgun from him, and you can see my name popping up. I do give him a little thank you. Yeah, so to start this game, I literally did just follow some tier 10s around while they cleaned up the enemies. But I think they're going to be glad for me later on in the game. Yeah, so like the Centurion 7.1, everyone moans about that tank being too slow. But what it does do, it gets up to speed very, very fast, where tanks like this don't. They may have the higher top speed, but it takes them a while to get there. So you will normally see a Centurion 7.1, they will rush off in front of you, and then you gradually catch them up. But I do like that bursty sort of bit of power. Oh, there we go. Track soak up a shot from a Object 430 version 2 that's decided to stay at the back of the map, and I've seen that person before, so I know exactly what he's going to do and where he's going to be. Yeah, he's always at the back of the map, sat behind a rock or something. Got to be a bit careful, there's a Death Star over there. So we managed to track the Death Star, but he repairs. That's a shame, because with this rate of fire I could have just kept him there. He didn't have a repair kit.
Fire on target.
So the 430 version 2 decides to come out and fight, but I own one of those tanks myself. I know where his gun can go, so it can't go all the way around there. So I've got this guy now. Oh, I thought I did. Can I get this round off before he fires? He misses. Happy days. Finish him off. Yeah, I could have been a little bit more active in trying to stay behind his turret, which can only go about 180 degrees on that thing. Pushing in on this Death Star, I see he fires, so I have around 25 seconds, depending on his crew skills and equipment now, to just finish him off. And with the DPM of this gun, it's going to be simple.
Enemy is hit.
He's trying to scurry off.
They're hit.
He would have done better just to face me, actually, and try and angle his armour.
For a team. Ready to fire on target.
Yep, that guy's not AFK.
Penetration.
But look at this rate of fire, it's glorious. Now I'm detected. The enemy's team artillery is around somewhere. Gotta be a bit careful. And I auto-aim that shot like a noob and missed that kill shot. Gotta remember, guys, when you auto-aim, your aim circle doesn't go in fully. If you try it out, if you lock onto a target, let your aiming circle go down to its smallest, then go into sniper view, it will then continue to get smaller. And that's what one of my New Year's resolutions. I'm going to have to be a little bit more active in my aim. I've become very complacent lately, been allowing myself to use auto-aim far too much, and I've been missing, probably missing 10% of my shots just to being lazy. Right, so what's going in here? Our tier 10 tank destroyer. He's facing off against a Tiger 2. Tiger 2's got a lot more health than him, but he does have enough penetration to deal with that T110 E4, so I'm going to make my way back. Even though I've just drove all the way into the town. No point fighting fair. If you can fight someone 2-on-1, yeah, you may as well. E4 puts another nice shot in. Here we go. Mobility, rate of fire. Oh, Christ, do you see that? Hit a little bit of dirt. Right, so I'm making the Tiger 2. He's completely ignoring the E4. However, the enemy's artillery, this cheeky, sneaky little git, just appeared from nowhere. He's coming to ram me. I've got to miss him. Got to miss him. Kill the Tiger 2. And now that 2-star artillery driver. It's obviously a pro scumbag. The rate of fire. Yeah, lovely. Love this 90mm. Just 12 rounds a minute. It's just so effective. Again, like I said earlier, for fighting tier 10s from the front, even the heat ammunition on this 90mm, it's not particularly good. Right, so I'm going to speed up the replay in a second. We are winning 2-1, but
Securing the base.
the T95 in the town, the enemy's team, has a lot of help. Our IS-7, who's in the town, is a one-shot. I am also a one-shot. The best place for a T95 to do its business is in a town environment like that. There's a lot less opportunity for me to flank him. And also, I don't have a huge amount of ammunition left. If some of these bounce, could be a problem. So I'll just cap the game out, to be honest. I don't do it very often. I only do it if I think it is the best thing to do in the situation. Right, so there we go. This is how little I do cap. I've only just picked up that invasion achievement. After, what, God, thousands of games. Anyway, on to the results. I did 4,883 damage and just over 400 assists. But because it was a tier 10 game, managed to pick up the master and got an invader, which I've got hardly any of, because you guys know me, if there's a fight to be had, I will have it, unless it's going to jeopardise my chance of victory. So there we go, top of the team, tidy amount of base experience, only a few kills, did miss that kill on that medium because I was a noob and used auto aim, but overall not a bad game. It's not a huge amount of damage, that would be kind of a really good game for a tier 8 medium, but for a tier 9 medium, yeah, it's an okay game. But in a tier 10 game as well, like I said at the start, there was a lot of heavy armour on their team, although I didn't have to deal with a lot of them. Most of them I got from the side. Yeah, not a bad game at all, and I hope you can see from this now how I'm trying to put across why I prefer the 90mm.
The enemy's trying to capture this position. We need to defend it.
Now onto some 105 action. Brilliant map for a sniping tank. Malinovka assault, and we are defending. But what you shouldn't do when you're defending is all just sit at the back, thumb up arse, and wait for them to come and find you, because it only takes one of them to light you up, and the rest of them, that are all camping at the back, will just snipe you out and kill you. What you need to do is kind of reverse that. You need to go and get spotting, so all your team that are camping at the back can snipe them out and give you some nice juicy assist points. So first up we spot a Lurve. He is pushing forward, get one in, so I'm going to have to change where I go. I was expecting to push straight up to the hill, get some view range and do some damage. So now I'm starting to mess my pants a little bit. There's an E75 that is YOLOing. As soon as he gets down into the dip, my guys at the back are not going to be able to support me, so I back up. There he is, can't get gun depression there, and he doesn't aim at me. He's not fully upgraded, but he can still do a lot of damage to me. He's still not aiming at me. If I had a tier 9 medium tank in front of me, I would definitely at least angle my armour for him, and also try to kill him. So now he's firing at me, and typically, just before he fires at me, the easy shot I had at his lower plate decides to bounce. And then he angles some more, and that one pens, and that is the difference between the penetration rolls you get. Sometimes a shot you know that's guaranteed to pen, it'll bounce, and the next time it'll pen, and that's just down to the rolls. Anyway, quick snapshot, the Lurve, he is dead, so that is one tier 8 and one tier 9 heavy tank dealt with. So now I can actually go and try and do what I wanted to do, which was to push up here a little bit and get some spots. But here they come, and then the assaulting team is actually assaulting. Well, on this flank anyway. You see later on what happens on the other flank. Uh-oh, Christ, that is another Type 61. He's fully upgraded, and he has more health than me. And to be honest, should have been all over from here. Get the first shot in. That is my first thing that I did well. I had to get the first shot in. This is all going to rely down on crew skills and equipment fit as to who wins this fight. But I do something now, which would have been a really good idea. I thought I'd swapped to high explosive. Remember, 30mm of side armour. I swear I clicked the button twice to switch to high explosive, but I actually switched to heat, and I totally didn't notice. All I had to do was get his side armour, switch to high explosive, and I could have killed him in 3 shots. But because I'm an idiot, basically, I still managed to kill him with my rammers, vents, brothers in arms, and onigiri. If he didn't have some of those things, my DPM would be a lot higher than his. And I managed to get through that with just a sliver of my health left. So whilst I'm just moving into position, let's talk about the onigiri. Would I recommend it for everybody? Wow. I used to hate using premium consumables. I never use premium first aid kits or repair kits, because if you only have a broken track and you have to use a repair kit, premium repair kit, that's 20,000 silver just to repair a track, so that's why I don't use any of those. Premium fire extinguishers, no, because if you get hit, set on fire, and if the fire goes out and you've got 1 health, it's 20,000 silver to save 1 health, and that's my reason for that. But onigiri, 10% on all your major crew skills. This tank, like I said earlier, lives and dies by its DPM. So having that extra 10% on top of an already pretty high DPM, especially with the 90mm, can turn this tank from a dangerous tank into an absolutely lethal tank. And then for situations like that where you were fighting it out with exactly the same tank as you, the only way you're going to win that fight is by firing first, having a better tank. So if he's got the same tank, the only way you can make your tank better is with crew skills, equipment and premium consumables. Right, so although I made a couple of mistakes so far, I've done a fair amount of damage, got 4 kills, but now the tank's going to start letting me down. So on our flank, the enemy's team, they pushed hard. Unfortunately, they got lit up by me and another guy that had managed to push out and get some spots, and we dealt with them fairly good. But on the other flank, the enemy's team kind of just pushed forward a little bit and then stopped. So there's a T-30 there, he's up near that rock.
Ready to fire.
I'm getting shots here, and this is where this tank starts to let me down. With the Centurion 7.1 or the E50, probably would have made those shots, and there we go, finally make the 3rd shot into that T-30. Another shot, yep, goes over the top, so that's 1 out of 4. IS-3, the amount of pen I've got, could pen him all day long when we miss another one, so I've penned 1 out of 5. Another shot, sky high, 1 out of 6. And this is where the Centurion 7.1 and the E50 really do just smash this tank to pieces, basically. And because you have no armour, brawling in this tank is a very dangerous game.
The enemy knows our location.
It's more of a long-range sniper, but for that shot there was totally my fault. But all of those other shots, I probably would have made at least 80% of those shots with both of the other tanks I've already mentioned. Although the accuracy with the 90mm is exactly the same, the rate of fire is double. So if you miss a shot, you load up another shell and you get another shot away. But with the 105, your DPM's that lower, each shot is just that much more important. And if you miss them, yeah, things are going to go wrong. So I turn for the T-54, trying to keep my armour towards him for what good it does me. And then the T-30 has been camping behind a rock the whole time and completely ignoring me for the rest of the game, decides to turn around and shoot me. But I think we've done enough there to win, so we'll just skip to the results. Well, so there we go, the rest of the team managed to sort out those little problems over there to take down the victory. Quick look at the results then. Decent amount of experience. Not as much damage as the first game, but quite a few of those shots at the end there. With the other 2 tanks, and I would keep going on about it. And I'm probably a little bit biased as well. Yeah, I probably would have done at least 1,000 more damage with the E50 and the Centurion 7.1, but that is purely, all of this is just my own opinion. And once you've got this tank, guys, if you haven't got it already or been through it already, you'll probably see what I mean. That second package with the upgraded 90mm, it's just so much fun and gives you much more flexibility. And the 105, although you do have that extra penetration, the lack of accuracy compared to some of the other tanks just lets it down that little bit. And of course, obviously, the lack of armour compared to the Centurion 7.1's turret, and just that all-round flexibility of the E50. Right, guys, hope you enjoyed today's review. I hope you found it informative. Please give it a like if you did. Please sub if you're not. And I'll catch you soon with another video. See you later.